Hey, this is Sam Black with Mono Black Eldrazi in Modern. This is an archetype that I've seen popping up more and more in leagues on Modern. Modern leagues on Magic Online. And this is my take that's borrowing some ideas from those and trying some other things. So basically what's going on here is you're using Relic of Progenitus, Scrabbling Claws, and Bojuka Bog to exile your opponent's stuff early to enable Wasteland Strangler and Blight Herder, and then Oblivion Sower, which can also turn on Wasteland Strangler and Blight Herder if you weren't able to do the other stuff. These exile effects are likely to exile your opponent's fetch lands, which Oblivion Sower will put into play. Of course, any that don't fetch swamps won't be able to fetch lands for you, but that's where Urborg comes in, as you can then use your opponent's fetch lands for mana as swamps to activate Eye of Ugin or just cast any random big Eldrazi. So the basic engine here, you're very much like Tron, but instead of Urza lands, you have Eldrazi lands. 4 Eldrazi Temple, 3 Eye of Ugin, and 3 Urborg, which sort of ends up functioning as an Eldrazi land because it lets your Eye of Ugin tap for mana in addition to reducing the cost. So if you have an Eye of Ugin and an Urborg, then those 2 lands together are giving you 4 lands for Eldrazi, like if you have 2 Urza lands, ignoring the fact that some of them tap for 3. Then, in addition to that, so you have map to get all that stuff together. Legendary lands are very important, which is why you have lots of copies of them. It's reasonable to play 4 copies of either, but I don't like drawing multiple copies of legendary lands if I can avoid it, so I'm minimized with a conservative 3 copies each, and then 4 Eldrazi Temple, because you just want as many of those as possible. Then my other lands, since I have an Expedition map, I can include a utility package in my lands. So I have 2 Bojuka Bogs. This is primarily in case I don't draw Relic or Scrabbling Claws to enable my Eldrazi early, or to just exile some lands to turn on Oblivion Sower. Obviously, against people who are using their graveyard, it's even more graveyard hate. And if I draw one, I want to play it early to turn on an early Wasteland Strangler or Blight Herder. But then I also want to have one to go big with Oblivion Sower, and I also just think it's a good card to draw in case you don't draw the other exile stuff. So I'm playing 2. Definitely the high end. I could see playing only 1. I definitely like having 1 when you have 4 Expedition maps, though. I have 1 Cavern of Souls. Eldrazi are certainly powerful creatures to resolve, but you're very good against counters anyway, since a lot of the effects can't get countered regardless. But it's still a really good bullet to have access to. And then I have a couple of Ghost Quarters and a Mortuary Mire, which I'm pretty excited about. Obviously, all of my creatures are very powerful, so if one dies and I put it back on top, that's great, and I can map to do it. Obviously, this is something that I would do, presumably when I have an Eye, but I'm not quite at enough mana or something. Basically, it's reasonable to not play Mortuary Mire because it's a little redundant with Eye, but this works if your Ulamogs are already used or countered or whatever, and it just works if you have not quite enough mana. So I think it's another pretty good bullet. I could see playing 1 to 2 or 3 Mortuary Mires and playing only 1 Ulamog, but I think Ulamog's really good, so I'm trying 2 of it for now. And then I just have some swamps and the lands I've mentioned. My interaction is 3 Inquisition, 3 Thoughtseize, 4 Wasteland Strangler, and then exiling my opponent's stuff. And then I'm just playing big guys. I have Blight Herder and 1 Cossack's Channeler for some mid-game ramp into my big stuff. Endless One can come down whenever and be whatever size it happens to be. Against like an aggressive red deck, if you need to, you can even just turn 1 play a 2/2. Probably better to play a 3/3 or 4/4 on turn 3 or turn 2, but it's point of this guy is it's super flexible. I'm trying 1 Eldrazi Conscription. Just want to see how it plays. Obviously, it picks up your Eldrazi land benefits, so it's reasonable to cast, and giving these giant guys trample is pretty likely to make them lethal. So that's the main deck. Very focused, a lot like Tron, but you have discard instead of Pyroclasms. And then in the sideboard, also you're just all or nothing with your ramp, rather than jumping from like 2 to 7 when you hit your Tron. You just have lands that tap for 2, and so you're more likely to be you're less likely to have nothing work, and also less likely to have maximal explosiveness, but I think that the lower variance strategy might be better. Anyway, as for the sideboard, I have some removal, a Slaughter Pact, and 4 Disfigures. This is tilted toward trying to beat aggressive red decks and away from trying to beat Twin. If I had more Slaughter Packs and Dismembers, it would be better against Twin. I have another Thoughtseize for combo type stuff, Damnation, and 2 Night of Souls Betrayals. This is basically like my anti-affinity package, but it also is good against Night of Souls Betrayals can come in against Twin, they're medium there. Good against Infect and tokens or whatever else. Young Pyromancer type decks, I suppose. Couple of Pithing Needles and Spell Skites. Just kind of, generic good colorless sideboard cards. And then 1 All Is Dust and 1 Void Winnower, mostly just trying them out. I'll know when to put them in when I happen to play matchups where they look good. No specific plans. The All Is Dust is kind of like another Damnation, except it's bad against Infect. And the Void Winnower is mostly... I know it's great against Amulet. I imagine there are some other decks that are pretty invested in doing things that this guy shuts down. So, like the Mirror. So anyway, that's where we're at, and I think it's time to battle.